I'm just gonna assume that we do. Last week I redid all math. Last week we had 477-ish anime at the end left on my plan to watch list that I haven't seen a single episode of. And I'm just trying to get through that one at a time. If you haven't seen the other versions of this, quick summary: some of them are getting put in watching, some of them are getting put in completed, some of them are getting dropped. And I just go over by the first episode of an anime which one of those categories I'd put it into. Watching is for ones that I had to keep watching right away. I just watched a couple of them in a row instead of just one. Or for sequels to anime that I had already completed during this challenge. The completed is obviously for anime that I complete during this challenge. I'm also continuing to keep track of the watching list for that. A couple things have gotten put here. I think more things have been completed than have been dropped, even though I call this the Great Dropping. On hold anime is anime that I started before I technically started the challenge. I might go back and watch more of these, or I might not. Who knows? And then dropped anime is anime that I've decided to not watch any more of. For one reason or another, I just didn't feel like finishing it. Most of this is from this current challenge. Some of it isn't, and I can always go back to these because they are kept track of. So if I ever feel like maybe I'll give that one another shot, I'll give it another shot. And then the plan to watch list is where I leave everything that I watched the first episode and would consider watching the rest of, but I'm not going to continue watching it right at that moment. Pretty straightforward stuff. I think my phone should have loaded by now, so I can real quick listen in and make sure everything's working. Okay, yep, we're good to go. So we're gonna start with anime that I finished for this one, because it's just easier to go in this order. So the first anime is Kaguya-sama Love is War, which I started, I think, during the time frame for the last stream. I finished it, and then 2 days later the season 2 announcement came out, so I was pretty happy about it. Yeah, I totally cried during the ending of this. I really liked pretty much every minute of it. I thought it was a really good comedy, and I know people are going to be mad at me for saying that, but there was a lot of comedy element in it, at least. I thought it was pretty good. Completed that. Technically not. I'll bring up this one. Yeah, that's it. I don't know the Japanese titles of a lot of these, but this is The Garden of Sinners on, I think VRV. It's a movie series with somewhere between 8 and 10 installments. Everywhere I see says there are 8 movies, but there are 10 videos in the folder for it, so who the fuck knows. Yeah, I watched the first one. I understood what it was trying to do, and I wanted to give it more of a chance, because it's just movies. They feel shorter. So I added the second one directly to watching, because that's what we do here. It's another arc, I guess. It's weird. They don't really explain what's happening. The first one deals heavily with suicide. I guess they're a detective agency specializing in paranormal occurrences. It doesn't give them like a direct title in the movie anyway. Yeah, this part they do explain outright. Didn't know she had magic. Or, like, at least not straight up. Yeah, he works for them too, sure. Sorry, I'm reading this trying to remember if they told me any of this shit in the movie. It's really quiet for the atmosphere, and I don't think it worked very well, but a lot of people like this, so I guess I'll, again, give it a deeper try. This is one of the ones I left on purely because I, wanted to give it the 3-episode shot other than just the 1-episode shot. Kind of. Yeah, she has special eyes. 7-part movie series. No, there's a lot of contradicting information on how many movies are in the fucking series, I guess. Yeah. Moving on. Just completed the first one, didn't move on yet. Oh no. I finished my favorite anime that had been on my watching list at the time, and Yet the Town Moves. Oh, I really loved this one. Like, the opening theme and the ending theme both are still stuck in my head, alternating, of course. I really loved it. I loved every second of it. Definitely want to invest in the manga or something. I liked all the characters. Next we finished... Well... Oh, wait, I had a different note here. As I was going, I found... there are more that I completed after this. I just, noticed one of my notes in my, Google Doc here. On YouTube, Crunchyroll has a 24-hour stream of anime openings and endings that are, like, randomly shuffled through. So if anyone was looking for a more unique way of finding new anime to watch, there's always that as an option. I might do it more because it actually got me to start watching an anime that's on my watching list now, instead of leaving it for later. Then... Yeah, this is the last one that I've finished here. D. Gray Man Hollow. I'm finally all caught up on the D. Gray Man anime once more. I liked it. I remember reading the manga in high school, but I can't remember if that's actually what happened. Is pretty much the point that I'm at. It was a pretty good season for the first, like, arc of it. I don't know, maybe it's just the second arc of it was, kind of rushed through by me. I really love D. Gray Man, though. That always has a special place in my heart. Alright. Now we're going on to anime that I started watching for this challenge. Oh. Shit, what's the name of that in... Well, that's not what I wanted. Anime. Shoumatsutoshi. Yep, there it is. Guess I could have picked that out of a lineup like that. I'm kind of stupid. Alright. After Lost. I don't necessarily know if this is a good anime, but I liked it enough to keep watching it. You know, all the characters are in it. I really like Geek. I don't see him on here, though. Where is he? Well, I really liked Geek. He's just the typical Daru-esque character. The super hacker. This weird little anime about this girl's the only survivor of a disaster that wiped out an entire town. And now it's like however many years later, and she's got a message from her father that she thought died in the blast, and she can, like, summon her old bodyguard or some shit. It's her and a guy who delivers any package anywhere, trying to get back to the point that got completely erased all those years ago. And it does its typical twists and turns. I like the characters. Or I like the way that they handled the characters. I think it could be more polished, obviously, but I think it had potential. Oh, I didn't go over how I finished Maria Holic, by the way. I finished Maria Holic, and Alive is now on my watching list. I'm still stuck. Next was... where is it? Oh, there it is. Miss Vampire Who Lives Next Door is the best vampire anime. I'm not going to tell you that it's also a Yuri. But, oh, they actually do have that tag on it. That's nice. Okay. The vampires are played, pretty funny in a lot of cases. Like in the first, episode or so, anyway. But, basically, this girl is in love with dolls. This girl's a vampire who looks like a doll. This is this girl's classmate who's got a crush on her, I think. And this is an old vampire friend of her who has a crush on her, I think. And it's just like a cute little cute girls do cute things, and occasionally in the OP they smooch. I think it's really cute so far. I liked it a lot. Definitely moe. Which is a big contrast with the next entry on the list, Golden Kamui. I didn't know that that's what this anime was about. I went in with a completely different idea of what this anime was. Initially I thought that it was going to be some sort of like proper war anime, considering the main character is dressed as a soldier, which they do explain, in his backstory. But, basically the plot of this is a soldier from the war, the Russian-Japanese war, known as Immortal Sugimoto, because he escaped death so many times, happens upon the knowledge that there is a way to find a large stash of gold by rounding up a bunch of ex-prisoners that escaped, that are heavily tattooed with, when put together, something that would be a map directly to the gold, meaning they, initially kind of have to skin them. There's a lot of other survival information, like, sprinkled in here. I don't know how accurate it is, but, the girl definitely has, like, a lot of little fun facts and stuff. And it's just really nice pacing. I like it a lot. Yeah, I watched 7 episodes of it in a row. I really liked it. I think there's another season or 2 of this. Yeah. So I'm excited for those. Yeah. After Golden Kamui, I have another little announcement thing. Adding on to the challenge currently just to, improve my focus on it and make me get through it a little bit faster, I think. I've imparted the rule that I'm going to be moving any anime that's on my Crunchyroll queue over to my Hulu queue, because that is on the Switch. It's the only streaming service on the Switch, and I can watch anime on it on the TV because I have a Switch, instead of on my phone or my laptop that barely starts up anymore. So I'm moving it over to that queue, and in the process of it, every time I move one over, I have to watch the first episode of it then and there. So I'm going down the Crunchyroll queue in order and finding anything that's on the Hulu anime list and watching the first episode of it on Hulu just to mark my place there and removing it from my Crunchyroll queue. It's helping me clean it up a little bit and make it look not as ginormous. And it's just helping me get through a lot of stuff quickly because I know there's going to be something else coming that I'm going to enjoy eventually. I'm not very lucky usually. I'm surprised I've been so lucky so far in this. I might, after that, move everything that's on Crunchyroll to the High Dive half of VRV, because they do have overlapping anime on there, which is strange, but also helpful because I can continue to do this even after I go through Hulu's much smaller anime selection. I do eventually want to add Netflix into the mix just to watch Beastars, because nothing else has really piqued my interest to this point. And I've been hearing a lot of good things about that. Other methods I've used so far have, I have tried that haven't really stuck with me. The opening ending stream plays a lot of like Bleach and Naruto because they have a lot of openings and endings. So I didn't really get much out of that other than finding that I would like Miss Vampire Lives Next Door a lot more than I thought I would. I'm getting all tongue-tied. And there's a randomized button on the Crunchyroll website that you can use that I would do, and then like watch an anime that I landed on. Naturally, that was in my list instead of picking up new ones for it. And I did that probably 2 of the times that I landed on something. And they just ended up as planned to watch. They didn't get moved to watching. So that one didn't really stick with me. But this one seems to be working pretty well because I didn't have to slog through it or like try and skip some of these. Because I think with a smaller selection you need better picks, I guess. I don't know. So to kick off the moving Crunchyroll queue to Hulu queue part of this challenge, we have the Asterisk War. This looks promising. It's one of those. You can probably tell what one of those means by looking at it. Magic high school transfer student harem. Those are all the words you need so far, which is unfortunately my weakness, so here the fuck we are. Moving on from that is something eerily similar to what I just said. God Eater, which actually landed on my watching list because I did watch 2 episodes in a row. I think this is based on a video game, but not based on it. Like, I think it's got its own characters and story, but it's based on the lore of a video game. I'm very question mark about it, actually. Yeah, I really don't know. It's a CG anime. Like an entirely CG anime. And it's kind of well done. I'll give it that. It's definitely more well done than other CG anime. Pathetic sword boy gets sword. He's a new type, which I think is like hybrid type Innocence from D. Gray Man. Like, some people get guns as their weapon, and some people get swords, but new type, it can transform between the two. Question mark. Yeah. He's a new type, which is super rare, so they're trying to keep him alive by babying him for way too long and keeping him out of the battles for the war. And, like, he starts getting a little bit mad about that, believe it or not. but he's also just not a great fighter because he's too reckless. So it's your classic. It's classic, but I watched a couple episodes of it. It was pretty good. I was just mostly trying to tell if the CG or good was not was good or not with the second episode, and I think there was a really bad cliffhanger too. Yeah, God Eater watching. Oh yeah, this one. I'm surprised I didn't move this one to the top of the queue after all of the requests from my friends. Charlotte? I just didn't want to cry yet, so I didn't watch it. And I watched the first episode, and I'm like, this is a show. Oh, it's by the creator of Angel Beats and Clannad. Oh no, I didn't... Oh, okay. Yeah, the main character is kind of a douchebag, right? That's what this one is? Oh yeah, he gets... Alright. Yeah, so they have, they're the student council, and they're the only ones with superpowers. That's the plot. Or they're at least the best with superpowers. I don't know. First episode was okay, though. I'll definitely go back for it. Amagi Brilliant Park, plan to watch. It's definitely in my vein of anime with the, slapstick comedy tag, I think. It's, like, toned down, I don't know, it's just toned down, bizarre anime, like Bobobo. It's toned down Bobobo, where, this guy who's a douchebag, this guy was the douchebag. Listen, harem main characters all look the same to me, I'm sorry. This guy's a douchebag, he's, like, super narcissistic, and basically he gets drug into managing a theme park that's lost its luster. But in a weirder way than you even think. Very slightly. I don't know, it was pretty okay. Oh, I didn't put that in yet. There we go. Boop. And then last but, well, yes, least, I have dropped one anime. This week. Oh. Well, let me just go down to the drop list and I'll figure out which one it is. This one. Must have spelled something wrong there and not noticed. World Break. There's a lot of anime that's just this show, huh? I think I'm okay with this type of anime, and I watch this type of anime. However, if it's going to be the same generic stuff, I'd at least like it to not have... So the main love interest was the plot of the magic in this one is they used to be powerful warriors in their past life, and now they got all of the warriors' memories and can summon their weapon to fight alternate dimensioners, monsters, something, etc. And so in the past life, they were brother and sister, and it's pretty much confirmed by the sister that they were in an intimate relationship by her screaming, "This time it won't be forbidden love." He doesn't remember anything because he's been, like, I don't know, I think they mentioned that he's at the very tail end of the episode, they mentioned that he's, like, the oldest reincarnator or something. So he's had a lot of past lives, and the other girl, so far, was, also in love with him in a past life, but a different one. And, yeah. I definitely probably would have kept on with the past life thing if it wasn't for the sister thing. Kind of a deal breaker. cousin thing, if it's a cousin thing, it depends on the anime, because I like Nerima Daikon Brothers, but it's mostly played as a gag. But in, like, Sword Art Online, I'm not the most comfortable. Anyway, those are all the anime that I got through since the last stream. It's, 12, with 6 left on plan to watch. 1 dropped. 4 of them completed from the plan to watch. Or not from the plan to watch, from the watching. And, 5 were moved to watching. So now I think we're down to 460